Steve Sanson, Jim Jonas for Comedians in Politics. Veterans in Politics. Today we have Dr. Erika Smith. She's a Nevada Assembly candidate for District number 41. And before Dr. Smith, we're going to take care of some house cleaning. What's going on, Jim?
Oh, actually, not too much for me, other than I didn't watch the debate, but I've heard all about it. And so for me, it is what it is.
I watched it. I listened to the whole thing. I was like, I've never seen a presidential debate go this way before in my whole entire life.
Yeah.
But they also said Joe Biden was mic'd. I don't know what that means. Was somebody like whispering sweet nothings in his ears, or telling him how to answer the questions, or what? But I don't think he's going to last to debate number 3.
Well, from what I've heard, and obviously I watched some of the recap on it and stuff. The thing that's interesting about people that I'm glad you brought that up, because of course I'm going to say, oh no, I'm not going to say. But I always have something to say, right? So the thing that's interesting about whether it's the debate or whether it's about Biden or Trump, one of the things that's really starting to frustrate me is for years, all I've heard from voters, whether it's Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter, right? All I've heard is that we're tired of these polished politicians. We're tired of everybody just reading off a teleprompter and doing what their handlers tell them to do. I just want, for once, a real person to run for office and just tell us the truth. Whether we like it or we don't, we'll deal with it. We just want a real person to run for office. Now, you have one. And now all I hear is that, Trump isn't presidential. He said stuff he shouldn't say. He shouldn't be on Twitter. He shouldn't say this. He's not acting presidential. You got what you asked for, and now you're complaining about it. It's pretty interesting because June Giuliani, that used to be a county commissioner, she, on her Facebook page, posted what the Nevada Education Association, how they came down with their endorsements for who they want for Board of Education, Assembly candidates, State Senate candidates, and so on down the board, right? So every single person that they endorsed was a Democrat.
Now let me piggyback on that. And the Democrat Party also said that they're tired of old white men running for president.
Right.
Yeah. I don't understand. Did they really mean what they said? Apparently not.
Right. Yeah, and we've talked about it on this show several times.
They had several females they could have picked from, and a couple of Asian.
Right.
They could have picked from, right?
What's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
So that's what I replied to her back with. I was like, okay, that's great. So all these people that the Nevada Education Association is endorsing are the same people that have made the education in Nevada a laughingstock of the country. But we're not going to change anything. I find that interesting that Democrats are supposed to be more progressive and more forward-thinking.
Well, maybe they should be like the veterans in politics. We endorse
Democrats
all
or
different
Republicans?
Parties, Republican, Libertarians, IAP, Democrats, even people that we know don't have a chance in heck,
right?
But we endorse them because we believe they're the right person for the job, and we're hoping everybody else sees the same thing.
Yep.
But sometimes it goes that way, sometimes it don't. There was a guy in California who used to ride his bike back and forth He didn't have no car. He didn't make any kind of presentation. He didn't go to any kind of meetings. He didn't put up any signs. And he won the school board. You know, so it does happen. So we're just hoping that people pick the right person for the job instead of party or name ID or just because they're my friend. I got a lot of friends in politics, but I don't think they should be there. Right. You know what I mean? True. I think they should be doing something else. Go turn a wrench, go fix a pipe or something. You can't be running the school board. You know? Sure. You know, so yeah. But speaking of friends in politics, Dr. Nick Spiritos, who is running for regent, I just wanted to put out about his sister. His sister has terminal cancer, and her name is Callie. And I just want to send our condolence to the Spiritos family in regards to Callie, and we wish the family the best and through this trying times. So I just want to say that. So Dr. Nick, our prayers go with you and your family, Dr. Nick Spiritos. Take care of your sister, spend a lot of time with her, because under the circumstances, we wish you all the best. And that's so ironic. He's a cancer surgeon, and his sister's dying of cancer. Oh, he can't save her. Yeah, I know. It's probably messing with his head, you know.
I'm sure it is. He saved my mom's life.
He did. Yes. So. But with that, we want to welcome Erika Smith, Dr. Erika Smith, Nevada Assembly candidate for District number 41. Yes. Dr. Smith, could you give us your boundaries and give us a bio?
Yes, Steve. First of all, I want to say thank you for having me on today. I am honored.
Thank you, Doc.
So, District 41 is St. Rose Parkway, Henderson. It goes all the way up to Las Vegas Boulevard, up to Warm Springs. It goes up to Blue Diamond, also catches a little bit of Seven Hills and a little bit of our Southern Highlands as well.
You got the ritzy neighborhoods over there, huh?
I do. I have, look, let me tell you something. I have the best constituents ever and the best neighborhoods. So I'm literally super excited to have this opportunity. I'm ready to represent them in Carson City.
You probably have a hell of a lot of HOAs over there, huh?
We do have some HOA properties, and so I have lived in the district for 4 years, so I know the district well. I sleep there, I eat there, I shop.
You never invite me and Jim there.
Well, I'm gonna have to change that. You are always welcome. You know that. So, just really, I've been in Nevada since 2008. So definitely, I know the Las Vegas Valley very well, Henderson, and this is a great opportunity. I'm excited because there's things to be done. There's work to be done, and they need a good person to do it.
Absolutely. Bio for when you were born.
Oh my, okay. Wow. We got to go all the way back. Okay. I was born in Jacksonville, Florida. Yay.
Sunshine.
That's right.
Hurricanes.
Well, yes, but I actually live in a place called St. Mary's, Georgia. So we would commute.
That's where the accent comes from.
Yeah, I'm a Southern girl now. Come on. So that's a good thing, though. You want a Southerner because we have manners. That's why. So, yes, and we know how to treat people well.
That's right.
And so that's some of the qualities that we want in a
say your prayer before you eat your food.
That's right. Have manners when you're speaking to your elders, and all those things have definitely been instilled in me as I was growing up with my grandparents and my mom and dad. So definitely. So I'm from St. Mary's, Georgia. It's a small town. It's actually a naval town.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. So we have a lot of veterans there.
You had a Navy boyfriend?
I have had a Navy boyfriend.
What's his name, Tyrone?
Well, no, we're not going to call Tyrone.
Seaman first class.
But that's where I'm from.
Okay.
I graduated from Bishop Kenny High School in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
I went on to the University of Georgia in Athens, Georgia. So go Dogs.
So you're an educated individual.
I'm quite educated. Then I went on to study and get my Doctor of Dental Surgery degree from Harry Medical College.
And a doctor. Ooh.
Yes,
Starting
yes.
to like you already.
Well, I like that. And then went on to do advanced education in general dentistry at the University of New Mexico. So,
Okay.
yes, I'm quite educated.
All right. So, what are you going to do for Department 41? Department 41? Back to that again, District 41.
right.
What are you going to, well, what's the problems of District 41 anyways?
Well, I know a lot of my constituents are business owners. I'm also have been a business owner, am a business owner now. So those are some of the issues that I see is definitely with our small businesses.
Right.
Definitely my constituents care about healthcare, which is part of my platform. I know that we always care about education, which is also part of my platform. I'm a strong believer in school choice.
Could I stop you on the medical part? Because I like bringing this up. We had Dr. Nick Spiritos on the show, who's running for University Region, and he wants to make Nevada or a medical destination, just like they call it the entertainment capital of the world. He wants to do the same thing with the medical field. How do you feel about that?
I like it.
And how could you help get that to move in that right direction?
Well, I love that we're the entertainment capital of the world, but I think that we need to also broaden our horizons. And exactly. We need to diversify. So I love the fact that we could be a medical destination. That is, I think, a wonderful idea. And I think what I could bring to that is really my expertise as a healthcare provider to really get us the right doctors, to put the right situation together so that we can have I think that's wonderful.
Will you be willing to bring Braille here, because there's nothing for the blind here in Nevada?
I never thought about that, but I think that I see that would be a great thing to do.
And he was talking about neural surgery, like the brain institute.
Yes,
because I know they got one by the World Market, that funny little shaped building, but they need to expand it a little bit, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that they could be doing in that area with the cognitive and with brain development and helping those who have had issues with the brain. There's a lot of things in that area.
What would you bring?
The technology, because that's really what you need when you're talking about the brain. There's certain technology, like brain mapping, things of that nature that are needed to study the brain.
Please continue.
And they help in brain health.
You're talking about school choice.
Oh.
Before I interrupted you.
Oh, no, not a problem. So yeah, I believe in school choice. So I believe in us keeping our charter schools. I believe in the fact that we should be, if a child wants to go to a school that's better than where they're located, that they should be able to do that. That every child should have the ability to go to a really good school and have a really good education.
And how about the ESAs that they brought up a few sessions ago?
I'm actually not familiar with that. Help me.
What is it called? What was the ESAs? What's the
so basically
educational? What's it called?
Savings account.
Yeah.
And so basically what it was is it was bill in 2016 that they actually passed. But in order to actually bring it to law in the 2018 legislature, they would have actually had to vote on it again. Because actually it would have had to amend the state constitution. But so basically what the whole idea behind ESAs is that, okay, so do you have children?
I do not.
Okay, neither do I.
I
Yeah.
have children.
Yeah. So basically,
I get a congrats or something?
Well, yeah. I know all four of them, and I give all their mothers congrats. They're great children.
All their mothers left me out.
You got totally left out of that. Yeah.
Hey, Steve's the one that said it was comedians in politics today, so you know.
Well, I actually gave him that idea. You do know that. Yeah, because he was over here making jokes. So, yeah.
But so basically what it is it's like, okay, so in a sense, every child gets so many dollars from the federal government and then from the state for their education for the entire year. So basically, that's actually your money.
$5,400 a year.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
To use towards private schools.
Private education. Oh,
Right.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I'm
so,
a product
I mean,
of private school education, so absolutely.
But then there's a lot of people that say that you can't complain about how bad the education system here is in Nevada if you're going to take money away from that system and put it somewhere else.
Do I hear a question?
Yeah, I mean, so how do you feel about that though? I mean, honestly, like, okay, so here's my thing. Like, if a student isn't getting the proper education at a public school, right? And your tax dollars are going towards that child's education.
Right.
Don't you have the right to take that money and use it at another school?
I mean, but that's part of actually a school choice. If
Right.
if they were going to do that and give them money to pay for tuition at a private school, then yeah, they should definitely have the opportunity.
But there's a lot.
There's a lot of kids that would love to have private
The
school
ACLU
education.
came down and put the kibosh on the whole thing by saying that a lot of the private schools conduct religious education.
And yes,
But
that's true
I had
to
my
a
daughter
point.
going to Lamb of God up in the Northwest for some time, and they only conduct 45 minutes a day on religious education. It's not a big deal, but
Right.
their curriculum is so advanced
Oh,
to the public
absolutely.
schools.
Absolutely. Like I said, I'm a product of private school education, and I found that had I stayed in the public school education, had my parents not made that sacrifice to put me through private school education, I'm not sure what the outcome would have been, but I know that being in a private school definitely had me more advanced.
Right.
I was doing things that they were not even doing yet in public school. So I applaud private school education. If you're able to put your child through that type of education, they are going to be more advanced.
Right.
And whatever, I went to Catholic school, so I went to Catholic school K through 8,
Did you
and then
religious
9 through
instructions?
12. And I was, Catholic. Yeah, and I became.
You did
yeah.
baptism,
Absolutely, yes.
confirmation,
Absolutely,
First Communion.
yes.
Oh, I did that too. I'm down with you.
Yeah. We got a lot of Catholic school people around here. So, yeah, but it was, aside from that, it was really just a good education.
Right.
And I think at the end of the day, if we just put the religion piece aside and we look at the quality
Of the education. Yeah.
of the education and what does that do for a child?
Yeah.
What level does that put them on to now be more prepared for higher learning, like college or whatever else they want to do in life? But it puts you on that right track.
Right track, yeah. Usually when you go to private school, you just automatically assume that's where you're going to go, college afterwards.
Absolutely, and they have very good preparedness for that, through the counselors. And I mean, I just had a really good experience when I went, and I felt like they definitely put a lot into making sure that we were highly educated, we received good education, and that we prepare to move on to college and have good careers.
How do you feel about homeschooling?
I think that it
Well,
worked.
everybody's homeschooling now.
Look, yeah, everybody's homeschooling now. I mean, gosh, I think that in some instances it does work for people, but I think at some point that child needs to have that social interaction.
I guess it depends on the child.
And it really depends on the
because
child.
if you have a learning disability, you have attention deficit or speech impairment or something, you need that one-on-one with a live person in front of you to help you.
Yes, and those are the children that I really worry about right now, because we do have children that are special needs.
Yeah.
They have learning disabilities, and they need that.
I don't think it's a disability. I think it's more of a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, learning challenges.
So they need that live instructor
Yeah.
more than a child that doesn't have those types of challenges.
And if you're not a child that sits still, you're not going to sit in front of a computer.
No. I mean, if you're antsy, yeah, exactly. So I don't think that it's working well for everyone right now.
Yeah.
I think that parents that have those children that have those type of learning challenges, it's a lot for them to do, and then they're trying to figure out how they're gonna go to work.
Yeah.
So it's a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
Besides education, what's another thing that you're really concerned about that you're hearing from your constituents? And
Seniors are definitely part of my platform. Veterans, keeping taxes low. Yeah, those are the things that I'm interested in.
how are you going to keep taxes low when everybody seems to need more assistance from the
assistance.
government? So how do you keep taxes low?
Well, I know one of the things that have been proposed that they want to do to our small businesses was they want to increase taxes, which I'm definitely against because our small business owners have been hit so hard during the pandemic. So why would we,
Want to hit them again?
Exactly. Like, to me, that makes
Add an
no
insult
sense.
to injury.
Absolutely. And so to me, that makes no sense. It's something we shouldn't even have on the table.
How would you help our veterans? How would you help our veterans?
Well, I spoke to a veteran yesterday. I was at an event yesterday, and he told me, he says, well, our VA is really good. That's doing good for us. So I was glad to hear some positive news that the VA is doing good for our veterans. But one of the things that was a concern is our homeless veterans. And I think really that's where my heart is, taking care of our homeless veterans.
Some people are homeless as choice because they don't want to deal with government entity. They don't want nothing to do with the government. They just want to be in their own world and push everybody else. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but there's some of them that are like that. And I guess it depends on who you are about the Veterans Administration, because I've been hearing from a lot of veterans that the Veterans Administration needs a lot of work.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was taught and I just love bringing Dr. Nick up because he was talking about. He's the first one I've ever heard say it. He wanted to go and actually work with the federal government, with the VA, and find out how Nevada could best help the VA on a state level, and work as partners instead of you're federal and I'm state. Combine the federal and state together and work. So I thought that was very interesting.
And that is an interesting take on it, because a lot of times we say, okay, federal's over here, states here, they're operating as two different entities. And if we can work together to really improve.
Like Homeland Security. FBI don't tell the CIA, CIA don't tell the DOJ, DOJ don't tell the DOD, Everybody got their own little clique.
They got their own little clique.
That's why we got attacked, because we didn't share information with each other.
So that does make it hard. So, really, I think as a state, we would have to approach the federal level and say, hey, this is what we want to do.
Right.
We see that there needs to be some improvements going on in Nevada. How is it that we can work together to bring it up to speed, and to make it really work for our veterans and be efficient and all of the things that it needs to be?
Senior citizens, how are you going to help them? You're going to lower their prescription drug costs, lower their assisted living costs? How you plan to help them?
Well, that is something that's come up. Is definitely, we know that the federal has been talking about lowering prescription costs. I think that's something Nevada needs to do also for our seniors. Our seniors are very important. I know I have parents that are in their 70s, so they're seniors.
And I had a birthday the other day, so I'm just climbing up that ladder.
Right.
Yeah.
So as we get closer and we're not getting younger, that's definitely something that we're all going to be seniors at some point.
Right.
So we want to take care of our seniors. They've been around, they have the wisdom and the guidance, and we definitely should be respecting and honor them. And one of those ways is by making sure that they can afford the prescriptions, because we know as we age, things happen to our body, and we have to end up being on these drugs prescriptions. So let's make it easier and more affordable for them and let them keep more money in their pocket. We know they're on Social Security, And so they're on a limited income. And so we need to be able to respect that and help them have a better quality of life.
So I got kind of a loaded question for you. I guess. It's more of a philosophical question,
Okay.
I guess. So, if you don't mind me asking, what's your party affiliation?
I am a Republican.
Okay. So how's that going for you? and the reason why I
want you to clarify that.
No, I'm
definitely want
I'm
clarification.
actually really curious about it because it's something that kind of frustrates me because I have a friend of mine, and I talk about him on the show sometimes. I'm not gonna say who his name is, but
What's his name?
I'm not gonna say who his name is.
Oh my God.
But he said probably the hardest thing that anybody would have to endure if they were going to run for office is to be a black female Republican.
Whoa, now that that is loaded. Go ahead.
So, like, don't you get, because...
Pushback?
Yeah, I mean, because I was actually talking to him and he goes, honestly, Jim, I am probably leaning this time to actually vote for Trump. But he goes, there's no way in hell I'm telling my family, he said, because I'll be ousted.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that both of my parents are hardcore Democrats. Okay?
Both of mine were too.
I grew up in a Democrat family.
Mine too. Hardcore Democrat.
Exactly. So you understand.
Hardcore Democrat. Yeah. I came into politics. I'm like, yo, I'm taking my food outside. All y'all.
Yeah, so, and they are very supportive of me running for office.
Nice.
So I will put that out there, but definitely we don't talk much about politics.
Are they here?
No, they are in St. Mary's, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they live in St. Mary's, Georgia. So I understand, and I will say that being a black female Republican is different for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I haven't felt pushback from the party. I felt like the party has definitely embraced me.
Right.
And I believe for the party it is an opportunity to now, because we know that typically when you think about someone being Republican, they're thinking of an old white person,
Yep.
an old white man.
Sure.
And so, and that's
hair.
exactly. And that's what we get from the other side, from the liberal side. That's the picture that they've painted.
Right.
So now you have me come on the scene, black female Republican. They're like, what?
Young black female.
Young, black, gorgeous.
Gorgeous. I forgot that word.
That's right. Educated.
And a doctorate degree.
And a doctor's degree. Now it's like, uh-oh. Wait a minute, that doesn't fit the narrative.
Somebody turn off the lights.
Yeah, exactly. 911. So, yeah, call 911 because it's a problem right now. So, we got a problem because we got this narrative that we're spitting to everybody, and she doesn't fit the narrative.
Yeah, what's she doing here?
What is she doing here, and where did she come from?
Yeah.
So, now they have my bio, so they know where I come from.
Right.
And I will say that the party has embraced me. Like I said, I believe it's a great opportunity for the Republican Party. It's an opportunity for them to push forward people that not necessarily fit the old narrative. And I think that that's positive, and I think it's something they should positively be doing.
Well, Jim brought up about doing the same thing over and over and expect different results.
Right. So now you have somebody different. That's somebody that you push to the forefront. Mm-hmm. You say, okay, this is our girl. Yeah. This is the new face, a different face of the Republican Party.
Didn't Obama say we need change?
And we do, and I think, but it's change that has to be in the right direction. It can't just be any old change.
Right.
Because all change is not good change.
That's right, because that sticky gummy quarter you're giving me is going to really mess my pockets up.
Exactly. So, and I think that, being black is a whole different narrative when we talk about, okay, how is it when we talk to other people of color, and you know that we're not as accepted.
Yeah.
We're called different types of names because
Yeah.
we have different beliefs, which I think is terrible because I respect your beliefs as you should respect mine. And so that's just what it is. But I'm very proud. Like I said, I was a Democrat my whole life.
Yeah.
And I've been a Republican for 10 years. And I want to tell you, I was okay by taking that red pill.
I was independent till 1998 because of the military. And then I just took a survey and I was like, oh boy, I'm more Republican than I am Democrat. But I do have Democratic values. I'm not a far left or far right type of person. You know? I try to balance out. I try to be reasonable and think about the future of everybody and be a good listener so I can respond a lot better to people, and that's how.
And I know for me, it was more like, you go down a checklist and you start, okay, Democrat here, Republican here, and you start checking those boxes. And my beliefs and my ideals did not match what was going on with the Democrat Party. And so for me, it was an easy choice. It was a choice where it was apparently clear that my values resonated with the Republican Party. And so a lot of people don't know I'm Republican. Like a lot of times I don't talk about politics. I think
people assume that you're a Democrat.
They assume that I'm a Democrat. You're absolutely correct. So when I've been to different events, even now running for assembly, when I walk in the room, because everyone knows I didn't have a primary, so I was quiet.
Right.
That was all strategic, you guys. I was quiet because I needed to let other people have their time to fight it out in the primary. But now, people are seeing me come to the forefront. They're seeing me be at events. They're seeing me speak. I'm everywhere. I'm on the Kathy Cash show tomorrow. So now that they're kind of seeing me out and about, one lady's like, we didn't even know you were a Republican. And I'm at a Republican event.
Why is that?
Well, we know why that is. The assumption is that we're all Democrats. So when I spoke last week at an event, I spoke on that. When I had, they have all the candidates up to speak, I want to address it because I want to make it very clear that I am a Republican through and through.
Right.
And so we no longer need to discuss that.
Right. Let's talk about Black Lives Matter.
Oh wow!
What's your take on this whole movement that's going on now? Not saying it's the looting and the rioting. I don't know who's doing that, but I'm saying that to bring the injustice of what's going on with our police and the code of silence that they have taken for many years, that needs to be abolished.
Yeah, we do know that there is a code of silence that they have, that they keep to each other. So even with our good cops, our good police officers, they're not doing the stuff, but they see the stuff and they have to kind of turn a blind eye to it.
That makes them an accomplice.
So
the fact.
So that is unfortunately, that is part of their culture, like you said, that code of silence. But now we have situations that we have on tape, things that we have seen with our own eyes, that now we know this type of things have probably been going on for a while, but now we get to see them on tape. And I must say that some of it is disturbing to me.
How do you feel about a district court judge that's running for Supreme Court would say to a black female public defender, you need to remove that Black Lives Matter pin off your clothing when you walk into my courtroom, but he lets the Fraternal Order of the Brotherhood pin come in, any other pin come in, but just the Black Lives Matter pin has to come up. How do you take that? Being an American in this country today.
Being that we're an American and we say that we're in a free country.
And the courtrooms are taxpayers.
Exactly. Then whoever is.
His salary's taxpayer.
You should be able to wear whatever you want to wear.
Yeah.
In a court. Just because you don't agree with it, that doesn't make it wrong. It's just that we have to agree to disagree. And that's it.
Would you put some type of bill in place that would get rid of that? Could to kind of expand on our Constitution? And let me tell you the reason why I'm putting that down, because there is a federal law that says that it's called the Service Member Civil Relief Act, that says that if a member of the military is on orders out of the jurisdiction of the court has to automatically put a stay on the case. You can't move forward. You just have to wait till the vet comes back. A lot of judges move forward. They don't care about the vet being anywhere else. They just keep moving forward with the case and screw the vet over. So we have to make a state law that says different, so they could follow, because they won't follow the federal law. How do you feel about putting together some type of BDR, bill draft request, that could implement what kind of decorum you wear in the courtroom, if it doesn't, as long as it doesn't say any kind of
derogatory, curse words and things of that
or
nature.
I hate anybody.
Exactly.
It's not hated.
Yeah.
How would you feel putting together some type of a bill that would eliminate these judges from doing what this judge did to this public defender?
We do have to protect people's rights to their constitutional rights to be like, okay, I can wear this pin and be okay. So I see that that's something that definitely we could consider putting together some type of bill to address those types of things, as long as it's not something that's putting someone's life in danger or anything like that. Then it's fair game.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna.
Well, let me stop you real quick. So there's already a federal law, right?
Well, they don't follow them.
Okay. Well, but then that would just have to be like, you wouldn't have to create another state law.
We already did.
You would just have to file a lawsuit, right?
Yeah, but a lot of these judges don't follow the federal law. They only follow state law. Matter of fact, a family court judge says the Constitution doesn't exist in my courtroom. So there you have it. Pure and simple, right? Yeah. out of their own mouth.
Wow.
How do you feel? And we've been involved in family court for years, and we've seen all the travesties of family court, and it's a three-ring circus. Okay?
Yes, we know you have made some enemies with the family court.
You know what? Somebody
judges.
needs to stand up and speak, because the attorneys won't do it because they're worried about their next case in front of the judge. The judge won't do it because they're worried about campaign contributions from the attorney. So nobody's doing it. The state bar won't do it because they're friends with all these attorneys that sit on the board. The Judicial Discipline Commission won't do it because they're friends with the judges and they're friends with the attorneys. So everybody belongs to this Nevada State Bar. They all pay dues. They belong to this organization. So they all part of it. So they all. You're talking about Blue Lives Matter. The judges do it too with their lives. Robe Lives Matter, because they're all backing each other up. In family court, not civil criminal court, you have automatically appeals and you all that. And the judges in civil criminal court are one of the top-notch judges. Most of them are top-notch. The ones in family court, most of them are failing attorneys that can't make it in private practice, and they become a family court judge. Or it's an easy win for them to have the distinguished honor of wearing the robe and having power. But I wanted to know if you would be willing to have some type of 3-panel tribunal or a jury, because there's no jury boxes in family court, which is part of our Constitution, by the way, right? To be heard by a jury. If you would be willing to have some type of jury in family court, and we could start slow. We could just do for relocation of children, because if some parents want to take the child out of the country, and the parent that's living in the United States won't see their kid for like a year, right? Even when they relocate across the country, it's difficult for a lot of parents, especially parents that are struggling and can't living from paycheck to paycheck already. They can't afford the transportation back and forth. Relocation of children and termination of parental rights. If you be willing to write a bill draft request that would say that if your case has anything to do with relocation of children or termination of parental rights, it has to automatically go before a jury. instead of one person, a judge, deciding the fate of your child. And that judge might be biased. That judge might not like you because you probably married a white guy. Because there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of discrimination in that courthouse. Big time. And nobody won't talk about it. So how would you feel about protecting these litigants by having a tribunal or with 3 judges decide instead of 1, or having a jury trial when it comes to relocation of children and termination of parental rights?
I think the jury part's going to be hard because they're not typically doing it that way. I think
they do it in Texas, by the way.
Okay, so they're doing it in Texas. I think probably the easier approach that people may be able to agree to more is maybe having more than one judge present. But
tribunal.
Exactly. I think that would probably, people may be able to go along with that a little bit more than the jury piece
so
of it.
you'll be willing to put together a DBR for that? Or BDR?
Well, I would take a look at it for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Jim, you don't have nothing.
Because I really want to I don't know a lot about, it sounds like you've been doing a lot of research on this. You're kind of in the thick of this.
Too much research and they become hated.
Yeah.
You know when people don't like you? When people don't like you, that means you have made a difference somewhere. You're standing up for something. Oscar Goodman told me this in 2004. I used to use devil dog because, the Marine Corps, devil dog. He goes, devil dog, if they don't talk about you, you don't matter. That's what he told me. If they don't talk about you, you don't matter. Because if somebody doesn't matter, why do you need to talk about them for? If somebody doesn't matter, why do you need to isolate them for? If somebody doesn't matter, why do you need to discredit them for? Apparently they matter because you're talking about them, right?
So I guess I do have another, but my question.
I knew you would when we kept going on. You would have questions.
No, my question's more about how difficult. Well, first off, let me just pause by saying, and I talked to you before we started recording. Thank you for running for office, because a lot of people don't realize that is not an easy thing to do.
It is not.
It takes a lot of time away from your family and other things.
Yeah, it's a marathon right now.
and it's one of those. It's very difficult to put yourself out there, and so I respect you very much for doing that. When I ran for the assembly, all I ever heard was dollars and doors. Just walk, knock on doors, raise money, right? And so now
Did you say
with
toddlers and doors?
Dollars.
Dollars and doors.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not Joe Biden. I'm a Republican. Anyway.
He said he's not Joe Biden.
I couldn't resist.
You couldn't resist. It was too easy.
But now with COVID and all this social distancing and stuff, how are you going about campaigning? How are you getting your message out there?
Well, the Republican Party, we are door knocking.
Yeah.
So I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of my constituents. I'm enjoying that process as I meet them. The crazy thing is they don't even know who their current assembly person is, which I find interesting.
Are you running against an incumbent?
I am.
Okay.
How many times have you been asked this question? Because I'm curious, because I was asked it every single time I went to a door. What the hell is a state assembly person?
Oh yeah, people want to know. So of course I talk about that, hey, we make the laws.
Right.
So we're pretty important.
Yeah. Right.
So that's why you want to know who's representing you, because these are the people that are responsible for creating laws.
Yeah.
And so for someone to say that they don't know who the incumbent is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Right.
But it's okay. They don't need to know. They just need to know me.
That's right.
Exactly.
And I'm okay with that.
Right.
So, and it's been nice to be able to get out, meet people. We have some great volunteers that are out there knocking doors on my behalf, probably right now. Because I'm able to get out there as my schedule permits. But now I mean, I have a real calendar, like I have a serious calendar these last 30 odd days. So the constituents will see me more and more the last 30 some days, because now I gotta be out there even more. So yeah, we're door knocking, we're phone banking, we're doing all the things that are necessary to get our name out there for people to know, okay, this is who you need to be voting for. And I think that's important that we're connecting. That's what we believe in doing. We haven't let COVID stop us. Of course, we're doing it safely.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, when I go to people, they're not asking for me to have a mask, or they're not doing any of those things. They're comfortable with talking to us, answering survey questions.
Are you going to all doors, or are you just going to DRs?
No, we definitely have a strategy. So we definitely have, of course, heavy Republican, heavy Independent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of doing your research on, sometimes you go to 4 for 4s, 3 for 4s, that stuff.
So yeah, we have all the good stuff.
Dr. Smith.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on the program. You've been a breath of fresh air.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Could you look into the camera?
I absolutely can.
And tell folks why, no matter what party affiliation they are, because now we're in the general, right?
Right.
Why they need to go and put you in office as next assembly for district number 41.
Yes. Quattro uno. Yes. Hi, I'm Dr. Smith, and I am your candidate for Assembly District 41. And the reason why you should vote for me, when we can talk about the D, we could talk about the R, but that doesn't matter. What it matters is who you're voting for. Who's the person? Do they have good character? Are they integral? Are they putting our issues first as a community, as a district, as a state, on a state level? That is the type of person that you need to vote for. Are they intelligent? Are they someone that has transparency? Someone that can I call up in Carson City if I have an issue? I am that person. And so when you go to that ballot box, I need for you to look for my name. My name is going to be listed as Erika Smith. You will know that you are voting for the right person, because a lot of you do not even know who your incumbent is right now. I have a problem with that, as you should have a problem with that too. It is time for good change, not just any change, but good change in the right direction. You have someone that is a doctor, that knows healthcare, that has that knows the problems that you are facing as small business owners, and will definitely fight for you in Carson City. So right now, I am Dr. Erika Smith, and I am on the ballot.
Your bio, doc.
Sorry,
not your bio, your point of contact, my bad.
I was like, I thought we went over that. Absolutely. So my website address is votedrsmithnv.com. That's votedrsmithnv.com. You can go find out more about me. You'll see some Channel 8 news story about me also. You can also go there and donate. We still need your donations. We're 30 odd days out, and we still need to be able to buy some things to be able to get my name out there and know that I'm representing you.
Thank you, Doc. Folks, that's Dr. Erika Smith. She's the candidate for Nevada Assembly District number 41. We want to encourage everybody in District 41 to vote for her. She has been endorsed by Veterans in Politics International. And folks, if you don't live in District number 41 and you know somebody that lives there, or maybe you don't live there, help share and promote Dr. Smith on social media, and let's get her state back, folks. We really need to get her state back. Her state's been in peril, and it's been in this coronavirus situation, and we need good people. We need free thinkers. We need people over there that can hold their own and make her state the best we can, best that they can. So please, we encourage everybody to vote for Dr. Erika Smith for Nevada Assembly District number 41. Again, endorsed by Veterans in Politics International, and we're backing her all the way. This is Steve Sanson, Jim Jonas. Until next time.